we have a publicist, Marvin Levy, the man with the magic.
Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 8. Marvin's passing is a huge loss for me and our industry writ large. We will miss you, Marvin. Your memory will always make us smile. Steven Spielberg. Marvin Levy's life was a masterclass in devotion, creativity, and connection. At 96, he peacefully passed away in Los Angeles, leaving behind a legacy that forever changed the world of film. For over 70 years, Marvin shaped how audiences discovered and fell in love with cinema. From bold beginnings in New York to building a one-of-a-kind partnership with Spielberg, he helped frame stories that touched millions around the globe. His work wasn't always in the spotlight, but it lit the path for some of Hollywood's most iconic films. E.T., Schindler's List, Back to the Future, and Taxi Driver among them. As a trusted voice behind the camera, Marvin knew how to capture the magic and share it with the world. In 2018, he became the only publicist to ever receive an honorary Academy Award. The Academy praised him for bringing stories to the minds, hearts, and souls of audiences everywhere. His collaboration with Spielberg began nearly 50 years ago, with Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Spielberg called him the face of Amblin, and to so many in the industry, Marvin was a friend, a mentor, and a quiet legend. Though he stood behind the scenes, Marvin's impact reached far across the film world. He also gave back generously, supporting foundations that focused on history, healing, and bringing joy to children in need. He is survived by his loving wife of 73 years, Carol, their sons Don and Doug, and grandsons Brian and Daniel. His sister Jane passed before him. Colleagues, friends, and fans continue to share memories of his warmth, brilliance, and generosity. Marvin Levy wasn't just part of the movie industry, he helped build it. His story reminds us that passion, kindness, and loyalty can create a legacy as powerful as any blockbuster. Tributes to Marvin Levy. Number 7. Alice Tan Ridley was a multifaceted force of music and perseverance, celebrated for her soulful voice, heartfelt resilience, and inspiring journey from subway platforms to national stages. Born on December 21, 1952, in Charles Junction, Georgia, she was the seventh of 8 children and found her earliest influences in the gospel and jazz traditions of the South, especially inspired by legends like Aretha Franklin. After moving to New York in 1971, Ridley built a life as both an educator and performer. She taught special needs students by day and after losing her job and navigating life as a single mother sang in subway stations by night. Her voice echoed through the tunnels of Herald Square, captivating commuters and tourists alike. For over 30 years, Ridley turned everyday travel into unforgettable concerts, even as mainstream recognition eluded her. Her breakout moment arrived in 2010, when she auditioned for America's Got Talent, stunning judges and audiences with a powerful rendition of Etta James's At Last. She reached the semifinals and finally stepped into the national spotlight. That same year, she released her homemade album, Spread Your Wings, and in 2016, she followed it with her first studio album, Never Lost My Way, at the age of 63. The album blended classic covers with original songs that reflected her life's journey of love, hardship, and unwavering hope. Ridley went on to perform across the U.S. and internationally, bringing joy to thousands. Yet her heart always remained close to her roots. She even returned to perform in the subway in 2014, missing the connection with everyday people. Alice Tan Ridley passed away at the age of 72. She is survived by her children, including actress Gabourey Sidibe, and her enduring legacy of courage, grace, and music that lifted hearts from the underground up. Tributes to Alice Tan Ridley. Number 6. In animation, you don't just draw pictures, you draw life, Paul Fierlinger once said. That belief guided a career that shaped generations of animators and moved audiences around the world. Paul Fierlinger passed away at 89 in Penwyn, Pennsylvania. He died peacefully of natural causes, leaving behind a body of work that continues to inspire. Born in Japan and raised between continents and political upheaval, Paul's early life became the foundation for his deeply human storytelling. From Czechoslovakia's first independent animated films to Sesame Street's beloved teeny little super guy, Paul's voice was always distinctive, thoughtful, and intimate. His studio, founded in Philadelphia in the early 70s, brought over 800 animated pieces into the world. Each one carried Paul's unique perspective, honest, emotional, and visually daring. He never shied away from personal stories. In films like Drawn from Memory and Still Life with Animated Dogs, he explored memory, loss, and connection with rare vulnerability. Paul's animated feature, My Dog Tulip, gained international acclaim for its raw and poetic style. His work earned numerous awards and an Oscar nomination, but he measured success in how his films touched hearts. He also gave back. As a lecturer at the University of Pennsylvania, Paul mentored countless young artists with patience and wisdom. Those close to him say he treated every collaborator as an equal, always open to ideas, and always eager to explore new ground. A fellow animator shared, Paul's films didn't just move, they spoke. They spoke of real life, real people, and real moments. He is survived by his wife and creative partner, Sandra Fierlinger. Together, they brought many stories to life, each shaped by their shared vision. Paul's passing marks the end of an era in independent animation, but his spirit lives on in every frame he ever drew and in every artist he inspired. Tributes to Paul Fierlinger. Number 5. Joey made everyone around him feel seen, valued, and heard. That was his magic. Joey Vieira, known to fans across generations, passed away peacefully at 80. His passing came just one day before his 81st birthday. Joey's spirit lit up every set he walked onto. As a beloved child in the early days of television, he captured hearts as Sylvester Porky Brockway on the classic series Lassie. Viewers connected with his warmth and sincerity, a trait that remained at the core of his work for decades. Raised in Los Angeles, inspired by his famous Aunt Ruby Keeler, Joey began acting under the name Donald Keeler. He quickly made a name for himself in Hollywood, appearing in beloved television shows like The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, My Three Sons, and Shirley Temple's Storybook. He later shined on the big screen in movies like The Patriot, playing Peter Howard alongside Mel Gibson, and starred with Charlton Heston in The Private War of Major Benson. Throughout his career, Joey balanced acting with writing, directing, music, and producing. He co-created the Emmy-winning musical special Motown Returns to the Apollo, contributed to commercial projects, and even found his musical work sampled by Tyler, the creator, nearly 4 decades after it was recorded. Joey's talent knew no limits, but what friends and family will miss most was his generous heart. He was a mentor to young creatives, always eager to share knowledge, always encouraging. Those who worked with him admired his commitment and kindness. His half-brother, Ken Weatherwax, and extended family survive him. Though details of services remain private, the impact Joey had on audiences and co-workers alike is beyond measure. As one longtime colleague shared, Joey wasn't just part of television history, he helped shape it, and he never stopped creating. Joey Vieira's life was a story worth telling, full of passion, transformation, and unwavering love for the arts. Though he's no longer with us, the joy he shared continues through the characters he played, the stories he helped shape, and the lives he touched. Tributes to Joey Vieira. Number 4. In the world of hockey, few voices carried the quiet strength and vision that Ray Shero brought to every room he entered. Thoughtful, strategic, and always team first, Shero didn't just build winning rosters, he nurtured lasting cultures. Passing away at 62 following a brief illness, his loss is one deeply felt across rinks and communities alike. For over 40 years, Ray devoted himself to the game, shaping dynasties and guiding young stars onto the world stage. As general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins, he orchestrated their unforgettable run to the 2009 Stanley Cup, assembling a team that balanced superstar power with hard-working grit. Behind that achievement was a rare blend of courage and insight. He wasn't afraid to make bold moves. Coaching shifts in the middle of a season, trades that seemed risky but proved brilliant. The rise of legends like Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin flourished under his careful guidance. During his time with the New Jersey Devils, he brought similar discipline and drive, helping revitalize a proud franchise and push it back into playoff contention. But Ray's impact reached far beyond the NHL standings. Off the ice, he remained deeply committed to mentoring young athletes, supporting his alma mater, St. Lawrence University, with pride and purpose. He helped shape future leaders while staying rooted in humility and generosity. USA Hockey also benefited from Shero's guidance. His work supporting the men's national team in international competition helped elevate American hockey on the world stage. Whether working behind the bench or behind the scenes, Ray always gave his full heart. Those who knew him speak not just of the championships, but of his integrity and big-picture vision. Ray was a builder of dreams, the Penguins shared. His belief in people was his greatest strength. Ray leaves behind a sport forever changed and a community shaped by his care. His memory will live on in the players he mentored, the teams he built, and the game he helped evolve. Tributes to Ray Shero. Number 3. Working with Colin was like stepping into a masterclass. Gracious, generous, and completely committed, recalls a former co-star. That's the kind of presence Colin Fox brought to every role, and to every room he walked into. He passed away peacefully in Fergus, Ontario, at the age of 86 after a short illness. But the legacy he left will be remembered for generations. For over 60 years, Colin Fox defined what it meant to be a working actor in Canada and beyond. Though trained on stage, he moved effortlessly between television, film, and voice acting, always bringing a rich, thoughtful energy to his roles. Audiences may best remember him as the mysterious Anton Hendricks in PSI Factor, the trusted Fritz Brenner in A Nero Wolfe Mystery, or the eerie shopkeeper in Goosebumps' The Haunted Mask. With just a glance or a line, he made characters unforgettable. He brought elegance to dramas, charm to family animation, and menace to supernatural thrillers. Movie fans spotted him in Tommy Boy and Daylight. TV lovers followed his appearances in Relic Hunter, The Zack Files, and Friday the 13th, the series. Behind the camera, Colin remained a quiet force, a mentor, a collaborator, and a respected figure in Canada's performing arts community. He earned a Canadian Film Award in the early 70s, but never let awards define him. He was about the work, about telling stories that mattered. Offstage, Colin had a deep love for classical music and once hosted a program in Toronto, sharing that passion with his audience. His creativity didn't stop with scripts and scores. He even contributed to multimedia theater projects that brought mythology to life. Colin shared more than a life on screen. He shared a lasting partnership with his wife Susan and deep love for his daughter Sarah. Together they supported his journey as an artist and a friend to many. In the days since his passing, tributes have poured in, each with the same message: we lost not just a talented actor, but a truly kind soul. Tributes to Colin Fox. Number 2, she faced every challenge not with fear, but with purpose. These words, spoken by a longtime colleague, capture the spirit of Judith Parker Harris, a force of dedication, compassion, and vision. Judith passed away at 74 after a long and courageous battle with multiple sclerosis. She died peacefully at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. Her influence stretched far beyond boardrooms and studios. As the president and CEO of Worldwide Entertainment Corp., Judith helped preserve one of cinema's most cherished cult classics, The Blob. Originally produced by her beloved husband, Jack H. Harris, the 1958 sci-fi hit gained renewed life under Judith's guidance. She championed its 1988 remake and laid the foundation for its future revival. But her work didn't stop at film. Judith was a passionate advocate for equity in entertainment. She helped establish Greenlight Women, pushing for more inclusive narratives and opportunities. As chair of the Women in Film Foundation and president of the Los Angeles chapter of the National Speakers Association, she uplifted countless voices that might have otherwise gone unheard. She also turned her personal struggles into powerful advocacy. With Health Esteem International, Judith used her own experiences to help individuals facing physical and emotional health challenges. She led with honesty and bravery, making space for healing and hope. Her efforts were recognized with prestigious awards: Emmys, the Crystal Award, city and county honors, and an invitation to the White House. But those who knew her best say her greatest reward was the people she mentored, encouraged, and believed in. Judith is remembered by a loving family, stepchildren, and grandchildren who cherished her guidance and warmth. Tributes from across the industry have celebrated her as a storyteller, a leader, and a generous soul. She never stopped believing in the impact of creativity. One friend wrote, "No matter how difficult the journey, Judith walked it with grace." Her legacy is one of strength, heart, and purpose, a life lived in the service of storytelling and humanity. Tributes to Judith Parker Harris. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Influencer and mom Hannah Campbell is mourning the loss of her 10-month-old daughter Eliana Rose after a courageous battle with a rare condition called junctional epidermolysis bullosa. In an emotional video shared on TikTok, Hannah revealed that Eliana passed away peacefully, surrounded by love. "Our sweet girl Eliana Rose lost her battle last night," she wrote. "She passed peacefully, wrapped in love." The heartfelt post featured a montage of family memories set to Benson Boone's In the Stars, capturing joyful moments despite the difficult journey. JEB is a rare genetic condition that causes extremely fragile skin, leading to painful blisters from even minor friction. Throughout Eliana's life, Hannah used her growing platform, now with over 700,000 followers, to spread awareness, share educational content, and advocate for a cure. "She endured more than most of us will in a lifetime," Hannah explained in an earlier post. "There is no cure, but there is hope." Despite the daily medical challenges, the Campbell family made the most of every moment. From snowy lake trips to Disney adventures, they filled Eliana's life with love, laughter, and light. Now Hannah is calling for greater awareness and research to help other families facing this heartbreaking diagnosis. "No child should have to endure what she did," she said. Eliana's memory lives on through her family's strength and the community that rallied around her story, reminding the world that every moment matters. News 2. Rescue teams in the Dominican Republic continue to work around the clock after a devastating roof collapse at the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo claimed the lives of at least 124 people. The tragedy struck during a lively Monday night concert by beloved merengue singer Ruby Perez, turning celebration into heartbreak in seconds. Among those lost were prominent figures including Perez himself, former MLB players Octavio Dotel and Tony Blanco, and Nelcy Cruz, the governor of Montecristi. Each had survived the initial collapse but succumbed to injuries before rescue teams could reach them. Perez's daughter Zulinka, who had been singing on stage with her father, described how her husband shielded her from the debris, allowing her to crawl to safety. Her father, trapped for hours, sang beneath the rubble to guide rescuers, a final act of strength that touched the hearts of a nation. With estimates of up to 1,000 guests in attendance, rescue efforts remain urgent. Emergency workers have dismantled parts of the structure to search for survivors, while families gather nearby, clinging to hope. President Luis Abinader has declared 3 days of national mourning. Across the country and beyond, tributes continue to pour in for the victims, especially Ruby Perez, a cherished icon whose music brought joy to generations. Despite the pain, the Dominican community has shown resilience, unity, and compassion, standing together in the face of tragedy and honoring the lives of those lost with love and remembrance. News 3. A family's spring break journey turned heartbreaking when 14-year-old Jordan Thomas Laskowski tragically lost his life in a car crash on April 4th. The accident happened in Lebanon, Indiana, as the family was driving home from North Carolina to the Chicago area. According to police, their vehicle suffered a malfunction, leading to a single-car crash on Interstate 65. Jordan and his 12-year-old sister Riley were ejected from the vehicle. While Riley is currently recovering from serious injuries in the hospital, Jordan sadly did not survive. Their younger sister Gracie, their mother, and grandmother were also in the vehicle but were unharmed. Jordan's father, Scott Laskowski, who was not in the car, expressed his heartbreak online, writing, "I never got to say goodbye to my son. He was my best friend." Jordan was described as an exceptional young man with dreams of playing high school football and a deep bond with his dad, built through shared love for sports and the Dallas Cowboys. He was also a loving and protective older brother to his sisters. A GoFundMe set up to support the family has raised more than $60,000, and messages of support have poured in. The community is rallying behind the family, with many reminded to cherish every moment with their loved ones. Jordan's legacy is love, the family wrote. Let's honor him by holding those we love just a little tighter. News 4. A 2-week search for a missing California woman came to a tragic end after she was rescued from a storm drain, only to pass away just hours later. Yafang Zhou, 59, was last seen near her San Diego home on March 25th. On Monday, April 7th, emergency crews responded to faint cries heard beneath a manhole in Poway, leading to a coordinated rescue effort. Firefighters from multiple departments worked tirelessly in difficult conditions, navigating through the narrow, dark storm drain system. Crawling through confined spaces and using ropes and pulleys, they located Jo approximately 10 feet underground and brought her to safety by 2:35 p.m. Though initially found alive and conscious, Jo died just under 2 hours later at Palomar Medical Center, according to local authorities. Her family has asked for privacy, and officials have released few additional details. What she was doing in there, what drove her in there, how she came to be in there, we are unclear, said San Diego Fire Rescue Battalion Chief Eric Windsor, adding that Jo may have been underground for days. Despite the tragic outcome, first responders are being praised for their swift and heroic efforts. Fire Chief Windsor noted the complexity of the rescue and the team's commitment to bringing Jo home. As the community mourns, the story also serves as a reminder of the dedication of emergency personnel and the fragile nature of life. News 5. A Kentucky community is grieving the heartbreaking loss of 9-year-old Gabriel Andrews, who was swept away by floodwaters while walking to his school bus stop in Frankfort. The incident, which occurred amid historic storms and flash floods, has drawn an outpouring of support for his family and sparked a broader conversation about school safety during extreme weather. Gabriel, who had just celebrated his birthday 3 days earlier, is remembered by loved ones for his warm heart, radiant smile, and kind spirit. He loved everyone he came in contact with, his mother Rachel Andrews told ABC News. I'm overwhelmed with the love the community had for my son. Teachers also paid tribute, including Casey Swales, who remembered him as the sweetest boy who always put a smile on my face. His cheerful good morning greetings were a daily joy in the classroom. Franklin County Schools Superintendent Mark Kopp expressed deep sorrow over the tragedy, emphasizing that the school system is rallying to support students and staff during this difficult time. Gabriel's passing is one of at least 20 lives lost in the region following intense flooding. While questions remain about school operations that day, the community has come together to honor Gabriel's life and legacy. His funeral will be held Wednesday, April 9th, in Pikeville. As his family mourns, they're comforted by the many who have shared stories of how Gabriel's light touched their lives. News 6. Ellery Curtis, a beloved former All-American college skier, has died at the age of 26 following a skiing accident at Palisades Tahoe in California. The tragic incident occurred on April 5th as Curtis was descending the challenging Ah Chute trail. Authorities confirmed she suffered a fatal head injury and was pronounced dead at the scene. Originally from Waitsfield, Vermont, Curtis made her mark as a standout alpine skier at Dartmouth College. She placed 8th in the giant slalom at the NCAA Championships in 2022 and was honored multiple times for both athletic and academic achievements. Her former coach, John Dwyer, remembered her as one of the hardest workers he'd ever coached and praised her unwavering dedication. After graduating, Curtis moved to San Francisco and began working as a regulatory analyst at the California Public Utilities Commission. Her colleagues remember her passion for the environment and her positive spirit. Ellie was a valued member of the CPUC, a spokesperson said. She will be deeply missed. Tributes have poured in from former teammates, friends, and her college community, all echoing a shared sentiment. Ellie's legacy of kindness, determination, and excellence lives on. Curtis is survived by her parents, Charles Curtis and Catherine Dolan, and her sister. As loved ones mourn, many are choosing to celebrate the vibrant life of a young woman who inspired both on and off the slopes. News 7. Angelica Houston is sharing a deeply personal story with a message of resilience. In a heartfelt new interview, the Oscar-winning actress revealed that she privately battled cancer following the release of John Wick. Chapter 3. Parabellum in 2019. Now 4 years later, she says she's officially in the clear and feeling grateful. It was a very serious moment for me, Houston, 73, shared from her serene ranch near California's Sierra Nevada mountains. I managed to survive it, and I'm proud of myself. Though she has chosen to keep the specific diagnosis private, Houston says the experience shifted her perspective. I try not to take life too seriously. When the opportunity arises, I laugh. Her approach to recovery was just as grounded. When she got the all clear, she quietly celebrated in her garden, taking time to smell the roses. Literally. Now, Houston is back to doing what she loves. She stars in Agatha Christie's Toward Zero, premiering April 16th on BritBox. The role, filmed in the English countryside, reminded her of her Irish childhood and gave her the rare treat of acting mostly from bed. I loved playing from bed, she said with a laugh. It was wonderfully undemanding. Despite everything, retirement isn't in her plans. I can't imagine such a thing, Houston said, full of determination. Her story is a powerful reminder that hope, humor, and strength can carry us through even life's most unexpected challenges. Number 1. There's no shame in falling, Keith Bakker once said, only in refusing to get back up. These words, once a beacon of hope for many, echo the complex and turbulent life he led. Keith Bakker passed away at the age of 64, following a prolonged illness. His journey was marked by a unique blend of breakthrough advocacy and personal downfall. Originally from New York City, Keith's early struggles with substance abuse led him to a path of recovery, a path that became the foundation of his early mission. As the founder of the Smith & Jones Clinic in the Netherlands, he championed experiential recovery methods. From 2004 to 2010, he gained a voice that resonated widely in the mental health sector, helping create a safe space for discussion around addiction. He also became a familiar figure in the Dutch media. Keith's appearances on popular programs like Van Etter Tot Engel and Family Matters made him a household name. For a time, his name was linked with hope and healing. However, Keith's legacy is deeply complicated. In stark contrast to his early work, his later years were marred by serious criminal convictions. His abuse of trust led to devastating harm and legal consequences, including prison sentences in 2012 and 2021. These actions caused deep pain and cast a long shadow over his previous contributions. Colleagues who once worked with him rarely speak publicly now, but one former collaborator summed it up simply: Keith taught people about recovery, but forgot what it meant for himself. He died estranged from many he was once close to, a life marked by both pain and purpose. Keith Bakker's story is a reminder that influence can build and break. His impact on addiction treatment remains part of public discourse, but his actions also highlight the need for greater oversight, accountability, and care in therapeutic professions. His passing invites reflection, not celebration, of a life lived in highs and lows. May lessons be learned from both. Tributes to Keith Bakker. His music told the truth, even the uncomfortable parts, and somehow made us feel seen, heard, and whole.